c'est bien. Okay, so can you guys hear the music? Don't know if you can hear the music, but hopefully you can. I'm gonna try to just to zoom a little bit. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, so hopefully we're gonna get viewers tonight. Let's have a nice like Friday evening live stream. I don't know if the okay, so finally we have viewers arriving on the live. Hi everyone, can you hear the music? Just gonna. Okay, so now it should be like the AI should be reading the comments. Just checking if it's working. Can you guys hear the music? Is it reading my comments? Is that AI thing working?
Says, hello.
Hi Moya, how are you? No music.
2025 says, no music. Code_curfew says, is that AI thing working?
Let's see if I can fix the music. I think you can hear it now. So the AI thing is working. So basically we are using maybe I'm gonna check the 11 Labs credits that I have remaining, because I've been using it so much the other day during the live. Was creating engagement, which is cool. Okay, so that's perfect.
Says,
thanks, Moe.
AI voice and a little music. Maincon.agency says, for core utilizer Next.js avec Nest.js?
Why would we use Next.js with Nest.js? Yeah, it's just a personal choice. Actually, if I had to remove one of the two technologies, I would remove Next.js. And I would use, like, let's say, vanilla React.
Maincon.agency says, new...
Just want to check my 11 Labs credits, because... Okay, so it's using a lot of credits. I only have like
Maincon.agency says Next.js is full stack.
Only have like 8,000 credits remaining. Okay, I'm gonna have to get a super premium plan on 11 Labs, since we're using this AI voice more and more. Next.js is full stack. Yes, it is. But you can also build applications with several APIs. So yeah, for example, if you're building like very deep, I don't know, like a cron jobs or async stuff, like very deep, heavy data manipulation stuff, then I'd rather have an actual Node.js API. And yeah.
Agency says it is not a good pattern. Marouane.77z says, tu es français?
Yes, I'm French, but we speak English here. How about you, man? Watermelon man.
Agnew.ab.gorel says, you are a professional web dev?
Yes. I'm a freelance software engineer. And I'm on holiday at the moment actually, but I'm trying to grow my following on TikTok. And
Mancon.agency says Next TJS Docs doesn't recommend that.
Well, yes, it's just a personal choice, you know, as long as the app is working. But if you want to have like a specific, like separate API for some specific stuff, like the beginning of a microservice architecture, then you can totally mix Next.js, even full stack, with Nest or Express or any Node.js API. So yes, I'm a professional web dev, and actually I'm launching my MVP studio and IT consulting agency. Do you have an advice for a junior in freelance after a first year of studies?
After a first year of studies?
You mean you're a first year student and you are a freelancer at the same time?
Mankin.agency says, I want to build one project per month.
Did you start building one project per month? The thing with this trend of building like a project per week or a project per month, I think it's great because you actually ship stuff, but in the end you have to focus on 1 or 2 projects maximum.
Says, no,
especially with the marketing aspect of the project. But yes, what kind of project are you building the pixel concept? Yeah, I think so. You're studying computer science. I think studying computer science at the moment is a bit tricky, so you really have to. Well, if I were studying computer science in 2025, I would be very cautious about the track I would choose. Like, are you in coding, like development, software development?
Mankin.agency says, it's for my portfolio. Ralroke says, want to take a look?
Are you in cybersecurity, or are you in machine learning or stuff like that? AI deep stuff? How to promote my How are you, Emilio, today?
How to promote my fitness app, please?
I need advice for marketing. How to promote my fitness app, please? What's so special about your fitness app? Right now, what's quite powerful is to promote stuff on social media through like organic social media content. Not trying to, not trying to sell your product, but just creating content around your niche. Link generator. Okay, yeah, a link generator is a cool project for a portfolio, I think. So what tech stack did you use for your link generator? Thanks for liking the live, guys. Don't hesitate to press the like button because it really helps getting more viewers. And then once we are around like 30 or 40 viewers, we can grow easily. I think we should get quite a few viewers tonight since it's Friday evening. On this small, like, you upload a file and you have a link to share with other. Oh, it's not only, okay, it's not only, I thought it was like a bit.ly, bit.ly, like link shortener.
User 584840953547 says, what text editor do you use?
So that's even more interesting if you're creating like a, what's it called, like a file sharing project. Where do you store the files? That's the kind of project that if you want to scale it, like professionally, if you get thousands or hundreds of thousands of users, can turn into an infrastructure nightmare, I guess.
Agency says Cloudinary.
What text editor do you use? I'm using VS Code, which is here.
Mankin.agency says, or upload thing.
Okay, so you're using a... Maybe if you want to scale it, you should switch to AWS, I guess. Because you're like using a third party, like an AWS wrapper. That's what, at least that's what Upload thing is. But I don't know about Cloudinary, but I think Cloudinary can get pretty pricey if you have thousands of users.
Mankin.agency says S3, yes, why not?
Yeah, I think it's like the final option for that kind of project. And how do you compare with WeTransfer? Why would we use your app instead of WeTransfer?
Rel Roque says, just deployed my SaaS proof of concept. Let me know if you have time to look at it. Mankin.agency says, I don't have publicity.
You have no advertising, no marketing? Since now with AI we can build and ship stuff quickly, it's always the issue that emerges. Thanks for the follow, Zach. Okay, so we are trying to grow the following here. So don't hesitate to follow. How would you guys promote a fitness app? I have no idea. Maybe work with influencers. The thing with fitness app, it's a bit like to-do list or productivity apps. Maybe the market is a bit overcrowded with those apps. I don't know what your app is about in the fitness niche. Fitness app for seniors.
Agency says fitness app for seniors.
Well, that could be a cool concept. Just take any app and turn it into the senior version. It's really the problem now with AI. If you're like an okay engineer, then you can ship pretty much anything much quicker than 3 or 4 years ago. But then you always end up facing the marketing challenge. And I think to face the marketing challenge, the best way to get users, I think it's, first of all, that's what I would do, it's to focus on B2B apps. Because B2C is a nightmare really in marketing.
Random recipe app.
But these are mostly like B2C apps, and it's a pain to sell it. The great thing with B2B is that it can be like a high ticket app, like I don't know, like a $100 a month app, and if you have one user that's paying $100 a month, then you have $100 a month. Whereas if you build a fitness app that's that costs around like $5 a month, then you need so many users and it's so expensive. Like acquisition could turn into a nightmare, really. That's the problem with this project that I've been working on, this AI
says team games app for companies.
This AI assistant for TikTok Live. The thing that's a B2C project, so it's going to be very difficult to promote it and to commercialize it. But for the moment, it's just a tool that I'm using.
Noah Thiessen says, what kind of B2B are you doing?
Well, the main SaaS I'm building for myself and not for a client at the moment, it's a thanks for the follow 3. It's in the real estate niche. And
_pain_au_raisin says, on Puy d'Ivoire on sneak peek de la landing page.
It's in the real estate niche and in the Airbnb short-term rental niche. So basically, it's a SaaS for Airbnb property managers to get more clients. And at the same time, it's a way for Airbnb hosts to find property managers and service providers.
Oh, okay.
But right now, I'm just playing around with my TikTok Live AI assistant here, which is supposed to be a SaaS at some point, like $5 a month or something like this. But I'm realizing that 11 Labs is quite expensive because I almost use, like, the other day I did like 2 hours of live stream.
_pain_au_raisin says, did you try Claude Code?
Nope, not yet. Yeah, I know it's the last trending thing.
Noah Thiessen says, did you ever get subscriber with Saas?
The thing with Cloud Code, it seems pricey, isn't it?
123 ZXC4 says, your opinion on ASP.NET versus Next.js?
I'm a React guy for front end, so I use Next.js a lot. I don't know ASP.NET.
Noah Thiessen says, did you
I don't know why
subscriber with Saas?
11 Labs is so expensive. Well, actually, I got the $5 a month plan, but I almost used the whole plan in 2 or 3 hours of live stream reading the comments with the AI assistant. So I don't know.
Noah Thiessen says, are you French?
Yes, I'm French, but we speak English here. I thought that it would be much cheaper to use 11 Labs, actually. I don't even need such a powerful tool, actually. I could just use
Noah Thiessen says,
like a very...
oh, okay, I'm French too.
Could just use a very basic AI voice, like text-to-speech tool. How many credits do I get for $11 a month? Thanks for the follow, Noah. How are you, man?
Noah Thiessen says 100.
Should be updating. I get 100k credits, which could be better, but if I don't know, it's a sustainable SaaS project. This AI voice for TikTok Live. It's good for me to use it for myself. The other day I received a DM from a guy who wanted the source code for it, but it's so easy to build now. The most difficult part is just to get the TikTok events on the live. Yeah, it's using all my credits. Okay, so maybe I can try to start my other SaaS, even though I want to build it from scratch again.
Nerukan Nerikan says, qu'est-ce que ton projet du coup?
So the project is a B2B Saas for the Airbnb space. So that's a B2B Saas for Airbnb property rental managers so that they can find more clients.
Rares.vnars says, haven't been here for a while, however it going?
The thing is that I'm back at streaming at the moment, so I stopped streaming. I had so much work in the last 6 weeks that I couldn't stream anymore. And I'm back at it now because I'm on holiday. And I wanna accelerate on the content creation and especially live streaming here. Got a nice setup now, and I'm gonna be very busy with work in August, but then in September it's gonna be like live stream every day and build in public every day. Because I'm trying to grow my MVP studio, which is here. You can visit the website. It's thelastdev.club. So I'm trying to build an MVP studio for the European market, and it's also a way to build like a freelancers collective and IT consulting. Okay, so here we are. Because the thing with that's what we were talking about actually, but the thing with my SaaS at the moment is that it's like a full stack Next.js SaaS. Don't feel comfortable with it. I mean, it's not enough for me for the backend.
I graduated upper secondary high school, depending on the ENG.
Last time I saw a live from you, I graduated upper secondary high school, depending on the ENG. Okay, just gonna switch off the AI assistant, at least just the voice.
Nerikan says, what DB-ORM do you use?
So for most projects, I would use Supabase with Drizzle, but on that project at the moment, it might change in the future, but I'm using NeonDB with Prisma, which is fine.
Nerukan says, okay, nice Prisma is nice.
Well, Drizzle is even better, but yes, Prisma is really nice. Let's see if I can find. I think it's in the SAS folder. Yes. Don't know if you guys realize how difficult it is to code on this vertical setup. So I think it should start, no, sorry. npm dev, it should start this way under 3001. Oh, okay, wait. Why do we only have like 9 viewers? The other day we were like 40. Like the day before yesterday. Is it that boring, is what we are doing?
Shield Guardian Scorp says, what is a SAS?
What is a SaaS? SaaS is software as a service. So basically it's like a software in your browser that you would pay monthly or annually. A bit like all the tools that we are using, like Lovable could be considered a SaaS. Canva could be considered a SaaS to create images. Cloudinary is a SaaS. Upload thing is a SaaS. Everything is a SaaS now. I don't know the exact definition actually, but
Shield Guardian
yeah,
Squad
it's a
says,
cloud-based
"Aha, okay."
software. So basically, yeah, it's a software that you would pay monthly or annually. You don't buy the software, and it's all working in the cloud. You're like renting software. You don't have to maintain the software locally. You don't have to deal with the infrastructure, the security, the updates. Yeah.
Luis Roddick says, SaaS equals sign software as a service.
Exactly. So where's my Airbnb Connect project? It's here. Need to restart it. The other day it was working, but I think the authentication was a bit broken. Well, okay. I need to go to, so I'm in the monorepo, so I need to get to the apps folder, I think. Yeah. And then I need to go to the app. And in there I can start the project. Why would you need Nest.js if you're using Next.js? Well, you can use that's how I like. Actually, I would remove Next.js if I could. I'm so used to building React frontend with Next that I keep using it. But I like having an actual like separate
Luis
API.
says, "Hey everyone."
Hi Elek, how are you? So the project is working apparently. But you know, sometimes it's great to have several APIs on a project, even if you're not creating a hardcore microservice architecture. And if I want to have like 1 or 2 or 3 APIs, I love using Nest instead of just using Next.js. So I'm gonna try to sign up once again. But I think Clerk Auth was broken the other day, so I need to fix that. But I don't know why it's not working anymore, because I haven't worked on that project for several weeks now. Are you using anyhow the backend of Next.js or just Nest? Well, actually, for the moment, I only have Next.js full stack. But my ideal stack would be React with or without Next plus Nest.js for the backend.
Iliasthal says, "I see. So do you prefer root API or server actions?"
I can use both. I use server actions on this project for the moment. Well, yeah, server actions are much more elegant. Okay. Because I noticed that there was a problem with the email sending from Clerk. No, now it's working. Okay, I don't know what happened the other day.
Says, "And how do you do the get?"
Verification code, okay. Now it should be working. Okay, so that was the Clerk authentication, like sign up component. And then we should have our dashboard, but there's no dashboard. Just gonna switch off the AI voice because it's using all my 11 Labs credits. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the gifts. So where's my front end? What is a SaaS? Software is SaaS is software as a service. So basically, it's a cloud-based software that you don't have to pay like to buy it. You just rent it with the monthly or yearly plan. So basically, a SaaS would be like Canva is a SaaS. I don't know what you're using in your day-to-day life. But yeah, that's what it is. Software as a service. That's everywhere now. But my front end seems to be broken. Okay, now it's working. So I'm gonna unzoom, yeah, so I can see the whole, can you see the whole page? Yeah, pretty much. So basically you can sign up, so you sign up as a random user, like generic user, and then you have to choose between the property host role or the property manager role. And that's almost responsive. And sorry for the black and white design, but I'm just building the whole architecture for the moment. So you sign up as a generic user and then you choose your role and it's going to be saved in the profiles. I'm a software engineer. I do mostly software development. Architecture is a kind of, architect is a pretentious matrix concept to me. Do you know Remotion.js? I've heard of it. Not Matt. You were there the other day. Remotion.js. Oh yeah, that's the yeah, that's what people would use to create like a SaaS for TikTok actually, or to create videos. Yeah, never used it. Is it open source? Yeah, it looks like it's open source. That's cool. Do you use it? Not Matt? Don't you feel like that about architects? Like you would meet a guy and he says like, "What do you do for a living?" "Oh, I'm a software architect. I'm not a programmer." Yeah. Currently making a project with it. Okay, what kind of project is it? So we are on the dashboard, and actually it was pretty clean if you ignore the black and white aspect of it. So let's say we want to sign up as a property host. We own a villa in Miami and we want to find a property manager. Okay, so I'm zooming out so that you see the layout. So that's very simple. I want to ship it as fast as possible. And so you just signed up as a property host. So first you have to create your first property. So you can build your listing. So a beautiful villa with pool in Miami. Beautiful 6-bedroom villa with pool in Miami, and then amazing villa in Florida with gorgeous sea view. Let's copy that. So you would select your, I don't know if you can see it, but you can select your property type. So let's say it's a villa, then you press next, and then you can choose the number of bedrooms. Is the music too loud or not? Just wondering. Okay, great. Thank you, Moe. Have you been here the whole time? Okay, so you choose the number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, max number of guests. So let's say 15, like 16 guests. That's a huge villa. Square meters, 600 square meters. Then next, then 123 Ocean Drive, Miami, Florida, United States. Okay, and then you can choose the amenities. Well, I would say an architect is just like a super senior software engineer. So the amenities will be here, so you can choose all the amenities that you want to save. And right now I'm using NeonDB, so let's see if I can still access my Neon project, because I haven't used it for a while. I don't know if I was using, I don't know what I'm using to sign up to Neon. Yes, I'm using GitHub. So this is the Neon dashboard, and I think this is the Airbnb Connect project. It's the first project I'm using, I'm building with Neon. So basically it's just Postgres, very similar to Supabase, even though there's no authentication. So the tables are here. Just discovering it again. So yes, if you want to be a software architect, I would say just be a software developer and work on like infra and DevOps maybe. And then at some point, being an architect is more, I would say it's like a natural evolution. Just keep working, and then at some point you will be an architect. Thanks for the follow. So let's get back to the tables. Oh yeah, there's, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that that sidebar. So this is the database schema. Actually, it's pretty good, I think. Even though the amenities, there's too much data duplication, but apart from that, the database schema was fine. I think you can understand the features from the Prisma schema, which is here. No, that's the voiceover AI for TikTok Live. So I should have a database package in my monorepo. It's here, and I've got the Prisma schema here. And this is, thanks for the follow, man. So here's the schema, and you can really read the features through the schema. So here's the schema. So you've got the profile table with all the clerk data, because I'm using clerk for authentication. Hi Han, how are you? we removed the AI voice, this text-to-speech assistant, because it's getting too expensive since I'm getting too many. Thanks for the follow, man. I'm getting too many comments that get read by the AI. Well, just like any side project, maybe it's not gonna be over anytime soon. So you've got this profile picture with all the users' data, and then you've got the property table with the properties data, and then you got the properties images. I'm going to show you how we can upload the images. You've got the amenities, the service area. Service area is to match the property rental managers with the service providers in a given area. Do you consider yourself a solopreneur because of your side project? I'm more of like a freelance software engineer, and I like building stuff on the side. In a way, it's quite comfortable to build projects for others because they have to deal with the marketing side, and I don't. So you've got the service area table, and then you get the manager service table. The co-host service, so basically you can register as a service provider, but not only as a professional service provider, but you could be like just a guy who wants to be a co-host. If you don't like the French accent, man, you can just go to another live stream. And then you have the service request table. So you sign up as a property host, and then you create a service request. And then if there is a service provider in your area, then it's gonna receive a notification by email sent with recent, I think. And yeah, that's how it works. Then you get the service responses to these requests. I created a contract table, but that's not going to be necessary for the MVP. Really not too complex for no reason. And then there's going to be a review system, even though that's not a priority either. And then we have the subscription table with all the Stripe stuff. Because obviously at some point users, especially professional like service providers, they will have to pay for the service to access the contact info. Could you estimate the cost for what? For getting the contract info? Are you using Cloud Opus in Cursor? I'm not using Cursor at the moment. So the cost for the... are you expensive to hire? Imagine I want to build a SaaS to manage properties like condominium. Well, it really depends on the scope of your project. It's really hard to estimate the price for a project if I don't know its scope at least. Do you have users? Are you managing condominiums already? Because that would be great to launch the product. But a SaaS project could cost $10,000 or $100,000. It really depends on the complexity of it. So yes, if I use Cursor, yes, I would use Cloud Opus because it's pretty powerful. But right now I'm not using Cursor. I'm not very comfortable with the agentic mode, like letting the machine do its own stuff, and then you get to spend hours like fixing your errors. So this is the subscription table. At the beginning, it's just going to be like a one-time payment for if you're buying like contact info. It's just going to be, there's no monthly fee. You just pay for the contact info once. I see that there's this guy who's renting his villa in Miami. I want to provide him with my services. I want to manage his properties. I know that, I don't know, if you're managing a property in Miami, you could be making like thousands of dollars a year. So I would be happy to pay, as a property manager, I would be happy to pay $500 for his contact info. And I have to think of a way to, like, if there's no deal afterwards, then you don't pay for the contact info. I don't know. Weak programmers have no choice to use cursor. Yeah, if you're a really weak programmer, then you could also use Lovable or Bolt, if you're even weaker. And then if you're even weaker, you could hire a software developer. You always have the choice to learn. Well, the things that learning how to build a SaaS is if you really start from scratch, it's going to take you weeks or months or years. Because building an MVP is easy, but building an actual production product, it's crazy. We don't really, because right now, don't you feel that there's a problem at the moment that people think that software has no value anymore? Because like you've got these YouTubers saying that you can launch your MVP in a few hours, just prompting Lovable, or it's so wrong. Like reality has nothing to do with like building MVPs with Lovable. AI does a lot of harm to new developers. Yeah, I don't know how it's possible now to become a junior software engineer. Thanks for the follow, CLM. So we have this subscription table, and then there's an invoice table, but I'm not going to use it for the MVP. There's a message table and a notification table, so it's going to be for the communication of like news. Oh, hey, there's a new service request in your area. Please answer the request, and then I'm gonna create some kind of conversation between the users. So if we get back to the front end, so this is the database, and I think I have a few properties. Yeah. So if we get back to the front end, it's here. So I was on the amenities page, and then I can upload images. So basically you can, I think I have a villa with pool picture somewhere. Don't know where it is. Villa. I'm gonna find it. Oh yeah, that's the Bali, okay. There's a villa in Bali, but let's say it's in Miami, and then you get the caption like pool with sea view. Then you can add another image, which could be, I don't know, this one. And you can create the property. And now you have your property, and you can create a service request. Okay, yeah, I think there's just a problem in the redirection. So you would have this host version of the dashboard. So it's going to be like airbnbconnect.com/host/properties. But I think the properties page is not existing yet. So I need to get here, or maybe just to the dashboard. Yeah, and now I have my property here that's existing. And you could create another one if you want, and you can also visit the page. I think I already created the property page. Thanks for your support, CLM. I'm French. Where are you from, man? Where are you guys from? Can you just write your country in the comments? Oh yeah, and I think we already discussed that in during a live stream that I would build a basic messaging and then add the real time. Ivory Coast, okay. And Toronto, great. So we still have quite a few like non-French people. Thanks for the follow, Wako TV. The app is a B2B Saas for Airbnb property rental managers. And I should be seeing my picture here, but it seems broken. Okay. So that's a very Airbnb-like page. Just that the images are broken. I don't know why. And then you could say, okay, for this service request, for this property, I want to create a service request. And it's broken from here, so I have to get back to the dashboard. And you create, oh yeah, and I was building that. That's the feature I wanted to build. I don't know why so the edit property is not working. Well, but you get the idea, I think. Awesome villa. Don't know why the image upload is not working anymore. Solid Stack, curious to see how you handle authentication. Well, I'm using Clerk for authentication on this app. So because I don't want to waste too much time on it. So I don't know if you can see it, but with Clerk there's a cool thing. Well, actually Supabase is doing it at the moment because I think they just launched their Supabase UI thing. Yeah, Supabase UI library. I should really try it live. It's like UI React, I think it's React blocks for Supabase auth, so you don't have to build these components anymore. So in a way, they are copying Clerk and projects like this, like WorkOS. You have so many tools to implement authentication on your app. So again, it's not no code. It's it's not no code. It's not low code. I think it's actual code, but you really save a lot of time. And Supabase is doing it again as well. So it's going to be interesting to try it. Maybe if I decide to restart the project from scratch, I would use Supabase for sure. What problem will you solve? Well, basically it's just like a lead generation. It's just a lead generation platform. Hi Melusi, how are you? Thanks for your compliment, Blame 2A. If you don't like the French accent, feel free to go. Thanks for the follow, guys. Just got like 30 followers in 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna use this new Supabase UI library. So yes, for authentication, we are using Clerk. And this is what the components look like. Yeah, so this is a Clerk component, for example. So you don't have to build that. You can use like the manage account model here. So you don't have to build all of that. And it's also dealing with the sessions and the devices or the device that you're connecting to your application. And you could even add several email addresses. You can update your profile. You can upload a new avatar. Don't have to deal with the avatar storage. So that's pretty amazing. Yes, apparently I'm streaming on YouTube at the same time. Fixed your subscription bug yet and the max 15 likes. Well, I'm not working on the TikTok live monitor, actually. You can see it here, but I'm really struggling with the 11 Labs credits. Because the other day I had like 40 viewers on the live and everyone was talking. And everyone was talking, and I used maybe 20,000 credits in 2 hours of live stream. So maybe we can restart it if people find it funny. Yeah, I have to restart the AI voice tool. It's here. To restart it. Just need to make sure it's working. So I start thinking that it might be a bad idea to launch a SaaS around this AI voice feature, because it could get pretty expensive. I don't know. Maybe I need to dive deeper in the 11 Labs documentation.
Real Twilt says, when UA user is registered,
Let's see if it's working.
Nicholas Johnson 0 says, test 123, test 120.
Yes, it is. Thanks for the follow.
Blame 2A says, I love you. Clips for Which says, what's your biggest creation?
So what about the fact that you don't have your user data locally? But actually, I'm creating a copy of all the user
Nicholas
data.
Johnson 0 says, world good?
Yeah, we're good with the AI voice, even though if it's using all the credits. What about the fact that you don't have your user data locally? I'm trying to copy every data around the user. And Clerk, it's not that expensive, even if you have 100,000 users. Can't remember the pricing, but it makes you save so much time. And there are so many actors now in the authentication ecosystem that I think that they got cheaper. Yeah, it's much cheaper than it used to be. So you get 10,000 users for active users for free.
Why are you editing my website? I didn't give you permission to use localhost. Real Twill says, cheaper than Auth0 for sure.
You get 10,000 monthly active users for free, and then you would pay like $25. It would be like 2 cents per monthly active user after the first 10,000 monthly active users that you would get for free. Thanks for the follow, High Capital Club. Where are you from, man? But for auth, most of the time I would use a Supabase auth. Okay, so I'm a bit hesitating now, because if I want to keep working on that project, I would I would like to switch to another tech stack. Because I'm not a big fan of the full stack Next.js implementation.
Andrew Byte says, having never used Nest.js, I assumed that Next and Nest overlapped in their role in the tech stack.
Well, it really depends on what you want to do, but you can totally have several backends for the same project. But as I said earlier, I would rather remove Next.js and use like vanilla React instead of and keep Nest for the backend. Because, for example, I don't feel comfortable with cron jobs, like async cron jobs with the Next.js server. I never did it, but I don't know if it feels weird to do that with Next. But Nest is just like Express. It's like a better, like more professional version for Express to build REST. It's like a nice way to build REST APIs. Thanks for the follow, Watermelon.
Jedits 2025 says, come far I see. Jedits 2025 says, is this the lastdev.club site up for everybody?
Yeah, you can visit the website now. It's up and running. Well, the lastdev.club is just like a landing page for my TikTok account and mostly for my IT consulting / MVP studio projects. Nothing special. There's just
2025 says, I'll check it out.
Just the domain. Well, you hear when I bought the domain name and I deployed the front end. And there's just a link to my Calendly. The front-end only guy, yeah. I remember you. Thanks for the follow, user.
Wheezy0518 says, are you using agents?
Are you using agents for what? For coding or for inside my app on my server? Wheezy0518.
Wheezy0518 says, you coding?
Not really. I'm not really into agentic coding for the moment, but I know that's the future. Are you still live, Anne? Are you still watching the live? Cool.
Literature and Society says
We have
yes.
a woman on the live stream. I should add dark mode for the site. Yes, you're right.
Mohe2025 says, yes, of course.
Yeah, you're right. I don't really like this. I don't know why I chose these colors. So people are following the live. Moe has been watching the live since the very beginning. Was it like an hour ago? So the SaaS, it's a B2B Saas for Airbnb property rental managers.
2025 says, dude, you look so tired.
So that they get more clients. The thing that's really, really warm, like the room I'm in is really warm. And I don't have any air conditioner at the moment. So yes, that's why I look tired.
Mohi2025 says, I am one of the weak programmers, so this is so inspiring.
So you're one of the weak programmers. Are you a complete beginner?
Wesley2B150 says,
I'm using VS Code. Nothing fancy. Maybe we can try to initialize a new project with the new Supabase UI library and see how it goes.
Jedits2025 says, I like everything on it except two things. Wesley2B150 says, Anonyme ma rep en anglais to abuse. Jedits2025 says,
I think that's a pretty big thing that Supabase is entering the UI game. So basically, like a few weeks ago, you couldn't build authentication with Supabase using like pre-built components in React. So you had to build your own components, or they had like pre-built components that they were awful.
A362816 says, on voit pas bien le PM que le sas ressort du coup, tu devrais le mettre dans le H1 ou la tagline. Louise Radoc says, Convex is better than...
Yeah, but you know what, the website, I'm gonna even turn it into like a small link tree or something. So there would be a link to my Discord, there would be a link to there would be my email address, there would be a link to my LinkedIn account, and maybe a link to my Calendly. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. I don't have the ambition to, I don't want to waste time to build a landing page for a so-called agency. I'm more of a like super software developer, like super freelance than an agency for the moment.
Wesley2B150 says, at iMod Hard Work. Famous Ducky says, what is a programming language that was invented by the French?
What is a programming language that was invented by the French?
Bohey
Is the
2025
AI voice
says,
still running?
I am
Yes.
more a tech support generalist,
So
and I always wanted to become a
you're
developer.
gonna use all my credits on 11 Labs. Thanks for the follow, Alex.
Omnitech says, Pascal.
You always wanted to become a developer? Okay. Yeah, that's a great project. Must be pretty hard to become a junior software engineer at the moment, since everyone thinks that AI is going to replace us.
Wesley2B150 says,
I'm a React
"Let's
guy,
dive
so
days
yeah,
of food
most of the time I would
CAK2
use
preferred.
React, and
Omnitech
second
says,
choice
"Isn't
would be
Pascal
Vue for
language
sure.
From a French guy? Famous Ducky says, Turbo Pascal.
Yeah, almost no more credits on 11 Labs. So I'm gonna, maybe we can just have a conversation around, I don't know, any topic around life, and at the same time I'm gonna initialize a new next project with Supabase Auth, because I want to try the new Supabase UI components. Thanks for the follow.
Literature in Society says, conversation about
Okay,
life.
so let's go for a conversation about life. What do you want to talk about, Anne? And keep pressing the like button.
Famous Ducky says,
Why most fintech apps use Angular for the front end? Well, Angular is mostly for like large enterprise software. So basically like banking applications, things like that. Like their typical stack would be Angular plus Java.
Primary language of tech. Kim Cutie says, air conditioner conversation?
So apparently a Frenchman invented the bit, which is the primary language of tech. Just gonna switch off the AI voice. Air conditioner conversation. So do you guys have an air conditioner at the moment? Because I don't. Do you know how painful it is to try to code on this vertical setup? So what's the downside of using Angular for smaller apps compared to React or Vue? If you're really super comfortable with Angular, then even for a very small app, you can use Angular. I think I have to be a criminal when AI replaces me, can't get a job even as a delivery guy. Do you think food is going to be delivered by AI and robots? Probably. That's a dark future. What do you think? Okay. In Russia, are you from Russia, Alex? In Russia, it's already the case. They have mini cars that deliver it. On most of my projects now, I would use the stand. I completely forgot about Redux. I'm not using Redux anymore. Look up Yandex delivery. Yandex is like the Google for Russia, right? Okay, Yandex rovers, autonomous deliveries. Okay, this is scary. Okay. So they have this in Russia, they have this in China, but we still have delivery guys, good old human beings. Remember the robot delivering packages in LA and the taxi? Yeah. In California they have autonomous cars. Moldova. Okay, so we've got plenty of nationalities. I don't know what that is. You don't know the stand? It's like a super simple version of Redux, like much simpler, like straight to the point. Is that the website? It's like the bear, you know, the logo is like a bear. So you don't have to create like plenty of files, just create a file for your store, and then you can just set your store like as a basic function. Why did you ditch Redux? Because it's too verbose. Redux is dying in new projects, really. Amazon has drones for delivery. Do they really have drones already? Okay, actually, that was like this video was uploaded like 8 years ago. So yes, I guess there are drones being built at the moment at Amazon. Thanks for the follow, Dean Papa. I think it's bad for the algorithm if I share videos from YouTube on TikTok. But let's do it. Okay, so it's like just dropping your package in your garden. They have signals in Angular now. What signals? Is it a state manager? I'm building website too using Node and React. How can I make my website safe and secure? What do you call a website? Is it an application with a backend? It really depends on how you interact with your database mostly. Did you hear about Microsoft laying off 9K people 2 days ago? Yes, I think I've heard of it. But that's the thing with layoffs, you know, they talk a lot about layoffs, especially in the US, the disaster, but it's really not because of AI, it's mostly because of the state of the economy at the moment. There's no money, there's no magic money in tech anymore. Okay, so apparently there's been layoffs at Blizzard. Okay. Okay, like 6 hours ago. Okay, so it's very new. They're just restructuring the company because of the economic stagnation. TikTok has a lot of chatting restrictions. Where can I chat with you instead? Well, you can DM me on TikTok. Or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Then we can chat on LinkedIn. But at some point we're gonna create a Discord, I think. Okay, so for the ones who don't know the stand, as a state manager in React, go try the stand and you'll see how comfortable it feels. I don't know what motivation to build anything, knowing AI can clone it quickly.
But the thing is, I've been looking into drone delivery for the past little bit, and it is very, very different than that. And I also thought we were supposed to have drone delivery by now.
Well, yes, that could be the strategy now, to try to clone applications and sell them for a cheaper price.
Alright, here's a crazy stat. 85%.
But cloning like a production application with hundreds of thousands of users and a team of 100 developers is not that easy. You can create like an MVP clone, but then it's not as easy to. It's not as easy as people think to clone stuff with AI now.
And then it takes off again. This seems a little insane to me.
So I just want to initialize.
A GPU or a smartphone.
So I'm gonna initialize the monorepo with the Shatsian monorepo setup, so that we don't have to build the whole monorepo Shatsian setup.
I haven't really heard much from them otherwise on that. Apparently Alphabet also has a project called Wing, another drone delivery system. The website is very promising, but I
it's
put
here.
my own address and a bunch of others, and I can't seem to find any areas where they're actually doing this. So maybe if these huge companies aren't nailing it, then it's just not practical in general, and like it's not something we can expect anytime soon.
It's so hot in the room I'm in. I'm doing the live stream that my Mac Mini M4 is like dying, I think.
Where it makes
Yeah, it's burning hot.
Say you're a new parent at home and you just ran out of baby formula and you need more of it ASAP, but you can't.
I think I'm gonna close a few windows.
Drone delivery. Or maybe I'm out somewhere.
Close this one, maybe close YouTube. Yeah. Maybe stop the AI, stop everything. So yes, if you want to get in touch with me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, I think. Yes. You can add me on LinkedIn, and you can also book a Calendly call with me if you have like specific questions or like a project ID or something. So let's close everything. Yeah, I think the Mac Mini is freezing the video because I've got several servers running locally. I'm going to open the window. Okay, so we initialize a monorepo with Next.js. Let's call it Airbnb connector. That's a new name. Yeah, I know that there's no navbar at the moment. So we've got an Next.js app here, which is called Web App. And we've got the Shatsian UI package here with all the Shatsian components. Yeah. And for the moment, we only have a button component. we can just, instead of asking AI, maybe we can just follow the get started. So we have Next.js app, let's start it to see if it's working. Yeah, I know the navbar is useless. Just a way to summarize the things that I want to do. Like you're talking about this navbar. Yeah, I know. You can't click on the buttons for the moment. I'm too lazy to create the content. But basically we're gonna have, so the main service we're providing with, it's the MVP Studio. Yeah, we finally get some fresh air. So the main service is going to be the MVP Studio and then some IT consulting. And the collective, it's like a freelancers collective that I want to build through the Discord server. And then mentorship could be, I don't know, if someone is looking for a mentor in coding or in shipping SaaS software, and we could create like a mentorship, I don't know, like a small like mentorship program or something like this. Like a yearly mentorship program. You want to learn how to code, then I can be your mentor for 12 months and see where you can go, how far you can go. Trying to put the fan on my Mac Mini so that it does not explode during the live. How much take my money? I haven't had time to think of like a pricing for the mentorship. At the moment, I just wanna, like, I built these small like landing pages so that people can just click on Let's Talk and they can book a call with me, like a 15-minute call on Calendly, and it can be around any of the services that I wanna provide, like MVP Studio, consulting, mentorship. I should add a like a form to get the email addresses or something like this. Like the mentorship aspect is not my priority, Mohe. You can just ask questions here on the live for the moment. So the front end should be running on localhost 3000. Okay, and this is a chat CN button that's coming from the yeah, you can DM me on TikTok and then we'll see if you wanna chat with me. So the button is coming from this folder, components and button here. and the page here is here, and let's say if you add a variant here, just checking if Chatien is working properly. Yeah, and now we have the red like destructive button. I don't know if you can see it, but it's working. If I remove the hello world, yeah. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, I think mentorship could be pretty time consuming. At some point I was a bootcamp trainer, like full time. It was really hard to focus on coding at the same time. But in my opinion, the best way to learn is not having like a mentor, just build projects. Yeah, TypeScript, don't worry too much about TypeScript. It's more like a superset of features on top of JavaScript. Maybe I'm gonna like change my setup and like go stream from another room, I don't know. Okay, so the Next.js app is running, and what we want to do is follow the Supabase UI library. Get started. Wait, I'm trying to... Okay, so yes, the cool thing with this new Supabase UI library is that it's building React blocks with Tailwind and Chatien. So that's what you want to use. So it's asking us to install Chatien. Okay, cool. And then let's see what we have to do on the client. No, I'm not using Go on the backend for that project. One language is enough. So let's install this Supabase UI package. Well, yes, yeah, we can do that. Next.js, well, mostly React, not that many Next.js features for the front end, and Nest for the back end. For the moment, I only have a web app, so React app, in my monorepo. Thanks, Tomango. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the gifts. I think I'm gonna... well, I have a learning roadmap. Oh, there's wind from outside. Get some fresh air. I think I have the roadmap that's open. Maybe I should add it on the website. Yeah, here's the roadmap if you want to learn from scratch. So yes, that's what you would do if you want to learn from scratch. First, learn some JavaScript scripting with Codecademy or something like this, and see if you like it, because maybe you're not gonna like it, and there are so many things to do in life. than just coding. Then you can learn with YouTube. Just get back to YouTube to learn HTML and CSS, and then some JavaScript DOM manipulation. Once you know how to do that, you can create your first backend with Express, which is quite easy, and add an easy database, which could be MongoDB. And then you build your first full stack app without ChatGPT. You really have to create like some kind of PDF and put it on the website. And this would take you 1 month of hard work, like deep work. And then you switch to React. So you have to learn this JavaScript front-end frameworks to build like bigger, more complex projects. And then you build another full stack project. Now that you know React or Vue, you can choose Vue if you prefer. It's a bit more, like a bit easier to use. You would build a second full stack project, like a side project. I don't know, we all have ideas of applications that we want to build with React on the front end and Express on the back end, plus MongoDB. And then you could work on that project for 1 month, or maybe build a project for a friend, or like work for free, I don't know. And then, so that's 2 months of work, and then you switch to, you can start learning TypeScript, like basic CI/CD, DevOps, infra stuff, like testing, why not? Deployment, learn how to deploy your projects on VPS. Then you could learn other backend languages, even though if it's not necessary at all. Thanks, Atman. Thanks, Marcel, for the follow. Thanks, Atman, for the follow. Getting so many followers from the live streams. And then you could learn other backend frameworks, because maybe at some point, like your Express is not going to be enough. And this would take you the rest of your life until AI takes over, and then you are retired. Is that a good roadmap for you, Moe? Okay, so we want to use these UI blocks from Supabase. Still have 10 viewers. It's better than nothing. Which app are you talking about, Noika? Actually, we're not building any app at the moment. We're just trying the new Supabase UI blocks, like React components. So we could add the lib folder here. Yeah, I think from that roadmap you can really learn pretty much like most of the things you need to build anything. Just have to be patient and consistent. Okay, so this PNPM command just created these files. So actually we don't have to do anything. That's really cool. I'm super excited about this new UI, Supabase UI blocks. Just struggling with the mouse on the vertical setup. Okay. Yeah, so when I did this command here, like installing the Supabase client stuff, then it created this sleep folder with the Supabase folder. Inside you got the client file. I'm gonna have to add a .env file that I don't have at the moment with my Supabase keys and Supabase URL. So it's done everything. Don't have to do anything. And okay, so now the installation is done on the client, and we want to create this simple password-based authentication, like the Clerk way, very similar to Clerk. So apparently I have to do it inside the next app, and it's gonna create all the files for us. It's crazy what they've built. So I'm in the web Next.js app. Just gonna launch this command. Really impressed by this new Supabase tool. Is there anyone really watching the YouTube stream? The only reason why I'm streaming on YouTube is because I have to, if I want to use Streamlabs for TikTok, I have to stream on YouTube at the same time. So it means that I have one viewer. Oh yeah, I have one viewer on YouTube. That's a personal record. The setup on YouTube is awful. I have to work on it. Okay, so it's gonna override the existing Chatien components, and it's created quite a few files in there. Yeah, it's really like a Clerk. Supabase versus Firebase. Well, basically that would be one of the reasons now, since we have this Supabase UI blocks, like pre-built blocks, and it's created the auth. Okay, that's crazy. I still have my page, but I've got my sign up page with the sign up form, which is imported from the components folder, and everything's very clean, well organized. And I've got my client components from Supabase. I didn't build anything. Yeah, I have to. The things that I have, I'm vertical first, so on YouTube it's a bit messy for the moment. But don't hesitate to follow me on YouTube, because I want to start like creating content on YouTube at some point. But how did you find my YouTube channel? Let's see if I've got a new follower. Yeah, so we have one viewer here on YouTube next to Donald Trump. Yeah, I gained 2 followers. Thanks for the follow, guys. Is that new? There were existing UI libraries trying to attract developers to a particular platform. Well, basically, Supabase is very strong for authentication, but they didn't have like nice, clean sign-in, sign-up. Okay, cool. Sign-in, sign-up components, like React components. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the first team that built React components for authentication is Clerk, and maybe WorkOS as well. There are so many, it's like big business. You can use Clerk, you can use WorkOS for larger projects, I would say. Clerk alternative, there are so many Clerk alternatives. Lock2, and obviously there's Better Auth, which is open source and great as well. But in the closed source authentication game, you have mostly Clerk and WorkOS, and now Supabase. But Supabase is so much more than just authentication. And Firebase, I don't think Firebase has no. Firebase is UI components. I don't think. Oh yes. Okay. I'm not a Firebase person. Okay. Firebase UI, maybe you can try it. But Firebase is getting a bit old. So yes, we have to create a, thanks for the follow. So we got our authentication up and running. The only thing I have to do is to create a new Supabase folder project. Yeah, because I need my URL and I need my anon key that I'm not gonna share with you. And I'm gonna put it inside my web folder. Thanks for the follow, ALE. Okay, so I'm just gonna initialize a new Supabase project and get the keys. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to stop the live stream at some point because I'm like my Mac is gonna explode. For 2 minutes. Thanks for the follow, TAMANTE. Where are you from? I'm a bit disappointed because I bought a Mac Mini M4 just for streaming live, and there's I think they have a small like heating issue. Like they have power, but they are like really hot at some point. From Belgium, hi Belgium. The French-speaking Belgium or the other one, the Dutch-speaking one? Oh yes, can you guys press the like button so that we get to 2k likes? Because if I keep having only like 10 viewers, I'm gonna stop the stream because it's too hot in the room now. Just deleting one of my free Supabase projects. So that I can create a new one, and then we can try to see if the new components are working. Okay, you speak both languages. And do you live in the French-speaking region area? Thanks for the likes, and forgot that you were still watching the live. Oh, I gained 2 followers on YouTube tonight. And I have 1 viewer on YouTube at the moment. Good night, Anne. Oh, you live in Brussels, okay. Do you work in tech? Yes, don't hesitate to follow me. I still have no content on YouTube, but I have a YouTube channel, so it's the same. It's called Curfew. I think it's good way to grow a YouTube channel, like grow on TikTok first, and then send everyone to YouTube. But I need to get a paid plan on Streamlabs so that I could stream on Twitch as well. Yeah, you're one of the 2 followers, the 2 new followers. We don't realize it now, but at some point I will have 100,000 followers on YouTube. So yes, I was initializing. I'm sorry guys, I have to hide my Supabase dashboard because I have like professional projects. I'm gonna show it afterwards. So let's call it Airbnb connector. This Airbnb project is not going anywhere for the moment. Let's put the password for the database, and let's put the database in Western Europe. Thanks for the follow, Tamut. GHL is good SaaS software. What's GHL? The window is open. I think now the neighbors know that I'm streaming live on TikTok. When you are streaming, would like to watch and for the moment it's not really organized. I mean, I have no streaming schedule. Okay, so I've got my Supabase. I'll copy that. Got my new Supabase project here. Yes. Yes, so yes, I've got no streaming schedule, but in an ideal world, I would be streaming every night between 6:30 and 8:30, I think. Today is a bit special because I'm home alone and I'm on holiday, but when I'm working, it's really hard to stream more than 2 hours a day every night. But yeah, I will try to be more consistent with the streaming, and I'm meeting so many cool people with this streaming habit. But yeah, no special day. The thing with streaming is that if you want to have many viewers, you have to do it in the evening, like European time, I would say. And if you do that in the evening, that you have no life anymore. So I don't know, maybe in September I will be less busy with work, so maybe I will be streaming during the day, but I get less viewers during the day. Like the streamer's lifestyle is quite hard. Firebase Oats almost made me gave up. Oh yes, maybe. Yeah, there are so many options for oats, so don't struggle with Firebase too much. So I got my project. I'm gonna actually I have to hide it again because I need to get the API keys, like the project URL and the keys. Let me get that. So this is the URL. Okay, I'm not gonna share it, or maybe I can share it, I don't really care. You're free to hack my project. So we got my URL, and no, I'm not gonna show my keys. Sorry guys. And the anon key is what's the anon key? Project settings. Yes. "12 viewers. We're growing." Where's the Supabase key? API keys, yeah. Anon key. Let's copy that key. Okay, so on the client we only have the anon key and not the service key, and I can close the file and I can share it with you again. Okay. So and once we have that, we can just keep reading documentation here. Okay, so can I just... Yeah, I think I can just get to the /auth pages, which is really insane. The problem with Supabase is that it closes your DB if it's unused for some time. How do you do it? Then just get a pay plan for $25 a month. Or yeah, having users could be another option. So I need to restart my app here. But yeah, I know what that's the problem with the free plan on Supabase. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so we've got. I'm so impressed by this Supabase UI blocks. Okay, so we can now get to localhost 3000/old/login. So basically, it's all the pages that were created by the Supabase pnpm command that I did. And I also have a protected page, apparently. So it would be like the dashboard for your SaaS. So I'm exhausted at the moment, but I'm so excited by this new tool by Supabase. So we've got a sign up page, for example. So here we are on the login page, but we could get to the sign up page here. We can try it. You get free emails with Supabase, so it shouldn't be an issue. Let's see, code. And it's all like Shatsian, so you can customize these components, no problem. Yeah, that's crazy. Which team are you using? I'm using a team called Bearded Monokai, I think that's the name. Okay, so actually it looks very similar to the clerk components that we were using, but the problem with the clerk components is that they are not open source and they are not using Shatsian. So if you don't get the paid plan on clerk, you would have this protected by clerk logo on top. So we can try to sign up. Okay, check your email. Looks too good to be true. It's a very Shatsian-y way to build auth components. Okay, so we've got the confirmation email. So obviously you would add your own domain, but that's not what we want to do today. You confirm the email. It's redirecting to I think it's confirmed email. Code curfew. It's mininetor.com. I think that was the password. Okay, yeah, so yes, I'm like very impressed. So they built this like CLI tool to implement the whole hot Supabase hot flow with just 2 commands, I think, or 1 pnpm command. How do you send emails to users who sign up? Is it done by Supabase on the free plan? Like if you initialize a free project on Supabase, you get like a few free emails, and then if you send too many emails, then it's going to be blocked, and you have to connect it to an email provider like Resend or Postmark, but you can totally do it with the free version. Okay, so now we are on the protected route, which means that this could be the like / dashboard for your SaaS, for example. What auth library do you use? So that's a very good question. Actually, I'm not using any like auth library. I'm using the new, so I'm using Supabase auth with the new Supabase UI components. So it's all managed by Supabase, and we just discovered the new UI blocks. So you can log out here, and you just use 1 command to set up the whole authentication flow on your app. So that's here. What did we do? Yeah, that's what we did. So basically, you would use this command, this pnpm command. That's gonna set up the redirections and the middleware on the client side. And then what did we do? And then, yeah, you just install, so that's the second command. and this command, it just created all the pages, so like the sign up page, login page, confirm password, reset password, I guess. Guess I can reset the password very easily, yeah. So I think I can reset the password here. So you've got all the setup in just 2 commands. So yeah, it's an amazing tool, and it's all based on ChatCN, so you can customize everything. I feel like I'm working for Supabase, but I'm not, unfortunately. So you see, I have another free email sent by Supabase, the reset password that I could customize. And here I have my reset password. So let's say, okay, and now I have, so it's redirected to the dashboard page, which is the /protected routes. And I wanted to show you, don't want to show you my API keys, but I want to show you my like authentication dashboard on Supabase here. So my user is created here. And the emails here, you can customize them here. And you get to see the preview as well, so you can customize everything. But obviously, if you have hundreds of users, you have to use an email provider. So I think that's it for today. Any SaaS ideas you'd recommend? I think the main idea would be to build B2B Saas only, no B2C. And like high ticket B2B Saas, maybe you don't need any ID, just copy other people's IDs. If you know a successful SaaS, you can just copy it and keep only one feature and make it a bit cheaper than the actual like official version. And then cold call. Like no marketing, nothing, just cold calling and not cold emailing, but LinkedIn cold outreach maybe. You say I want to build a SaaS for, I don't know, like for real estate agents so that they can send like cold emails to property owners, and you build only one feature, B2B only. That's the best strategy. Okay, so I think we are all in love with Supabase and their new UI blocks, and we're gonna use it for most of our projects from now on, I guess. So obviously you get the social authentication as well. Well, actually at the moment my main client, so actually I'm working for an agency that has a startup client, and the startup is building a cold emailing tool. Well, it's an AI-powered cold outreach, lead generation and cold emailing tool, and I totally agree with you, like cold emailing, it's dead pretty much everywhere on the planet. So we managed to build something that's working, but the things that Google emails and Outlook emails, they are like putting everything in the spam. I think now in B2B cold calling, a good strategy would be to get, you can get the like CEOs' phone numbers or like salespeople phone numbers with enrichment tools, like so that's more on the sales and marketing aspect of things, but what is it called? Well, you can, yeah, you have this one, Casper.io. You can, if you give me your name, I can get your phone number. Like 90% chances I can get your direct phone number. So you will make a list of people that you wanna get in touch with, like cold calling them, and then spend the whole week just cold calling people and be rejected. But that's not the developer's job. You can do this, you can do some scraping on Google Maps, you could do, for B2B there are quite a few. You can even use like no-code scraping tools like Phantom Buster. If you wanna, you can extract lead information, then send it to an enrichment tool, get the phone number, connect the same person on LinkedIn as well. Yeah. So yes, just checking the rest of the. So we have a user avatar component. Okay, if you want to use it, you just use this pnpm command. That's I'm amazed. We finally have nice ShadCN based open source React components for Supabase auth. Real-time avatar. Okay. That's so cool. Okay, guys. So maybe we could make like a stream around how to sell your B2B Saas. I think we can learn from each other. Yeah, we will do that. And it could attract more viewers maybe. Just closing the windows for the neighbors. Why did you choose Nest.js? I'm back. I was just closing the window because the neighbors are gonna think I'm a crazy streamer. Why did you choose Nest.js? Technical reasons. You can answer in English. Can you see me on the screen? I chose Nest.js because it's much more. Well, I'm just comparing it to Express. It's much more professional and much more like modular, production grade. I feel much more comfortable with the Nest.js architecture. You got your service, your controller, and your interfaces, your DTOs. That's what I like for backend for the moment. Okay, I think I've been live for 2 hours. And I guess there's gonna be the replay for the stream on YouTube with my tiny little YouTube channel. But we will grow this channel. What's the infinite query hook for infinite lists? Okay. Okay, so I think that's the strategy for Supabase. They decided to start their UI blocks with the authentication feature, and then they start building like hooks and maybe more stuff around React frontend. And it's all based on ShadCN, which means that we can so that was the main button. Okay, that was the main page. We're not using it anymore. We can get to the protected page. So their protected page would be so I am in the protected page. It would be like the dashboard page, so we can rename it maybe here. We can rename it in /dashboard. Makes more sense. And now we can get to the dashboard page. Maybe I have to make a few changes in the middleware, maybe not. No. Yeah, I have to make a few changes on the routing. So here I'm gonna push the slash dashboard page if a user signs in, and I'm gonna redirect to slash dashboard if a user signs up, and the update password would be also pointing to the slash dashboard page.